You speak about the 4 C's that organizations should be incorporating into their company culture: clarity, courage, consciousness, and compassion. Can you expand on these?
Yes, it is important that we actually understand and comprehend these criteria, that an organization can survive in the 21st century. So compassion is very essential, that we better connect with each other and that we maintain strong and healthy relationships between organizations and any sort of systems. To be conscious that we actually are reasonable. Often I notice that often companies have very, very high expectations on their subordinates or employees or stakeholders. So I think with consciousness, we are actually conscious what is actually, what makes sense, what is actually possible, and where it is an opportunity. And I think courage is very important, that we are courageous to do and take certain initiatives which sometimes help us to overcome a certain struggle or even to comprehend certain situations. And I think at last the clarity helps us to better understand the purpose, why we do things the way we do things. And all of these criteria, I think, are relevant, that we eventually have a sort of a self-awareness of ourselves as individuals. And once we actually have that, there's also better understanding of people in organizations or in the different relationships we keep. And that gives us a strong intuition. We do things intuitively because we feel it and we feel comfortable. And then hence we have these 3 components which are backed up with the 4 C's. So it is very, very important. Again, what I earlier been talking about, that we can actually keep a very healthy balance and we can adapt within the system, but also adapt out externally towards our clients and customers and understand what they actually, what they need and what sort of purpose they actually have to offer them a good solution.
What would you say is the greatest challenge in terms of incorporating those 4 C's in an organization's company culture?
Well, I think every sort of change or transformation is a big challenge. Why? Because we do not necessarily want to get out of this comfort zone, because there's something we don't necessarily know. So I think a little bit what I was talking earlier, I think it is certainly essential to bring in the 5 factors, like to feel safe and secure and inspirational and people at ease. And once that environment is being created, people are also willing to make a move and step out of their comfort zone and actually embrace and actually willing to understand these 4 C's. But that is a crucial important. And I think it's a fair question to ask, because you can't just sort of overwhelm any sort of system, whether it's a society or whether it's within an organization. So I think this is a process which should be really thought over carefully and go step by step as you go along and give people really trust and then build on to that, yeah.